folks, welcome back for another episode of Schwaaard's Follies, and we were going to do double the folly today by doing a deck roulette, but I have now started this video twice because that has not done well for me. So I picked one purely because I just wanted to play a veteran deck, and Gibbs was the first one that I saw. This is actually, I believe, Brother Ridge's Schwaaard deck, and like I said, it's a veteran. And I took a quick gander. I got a gist for what we're looking at here. It looks cool. It looks nifty. And we're going to play it. So here we go. Here we go. Yeah, we had 2 false starts already. Oh, nope. See? Let's see. Here we go. The first time I did it, so I was doing the deck roulette, so I just kind of like scroll. While I look at the camera, I just scroll, and whatever the mouse lands on, the cursor lands on, that's our deck that we choose. The problem is the very first one I picked was Orc Warrior, and I know Orc Warrior is not popular with many folks, so I decided, but I was like, all right, well, we picked it, we'll just play one game with it, and then I'll make sure that I vet each deck the next time. And we ended up having like the most ridiculous game against Guildsworn action. You know, action decks, they just like to do nothing and just throw crap at whatever you put on the board. So it was very aggravating and very long and drawn out, and I eventually just conceded. I was like, that's not a great game. And so I was like, let me restart. So I restarted, this time now vetting each of my, vetting the deck. And it was an archer deck. I was like, all right, well, it's not orcs, so we're good to go there. But it was called Band of Misfits. And I don't know if I created it or somebody else did. All I know is we got wrecked with it. And it was a very, very frustrating game. And it was so bad, like I was so just out of it that I meant to concede, and I just hit exit. So we exited the game, and I was like, wait a minute, did the game crash? And I went back in, I was like, oh my gosh, I did like an inadvertent rope. I mean, it lasted for like 10 seconds, but it was my first roping experience. It was great fun. Let's poke. All right, cool. We get Oreo Cookie Gal.
Speak, citizen.
So we are veteran mirror match, but we have the rings, so we have temporary.
You took a long time.
I mean, he's got rallies going off now. Not too worried about it, only because we can edict.
Ita Oreo.
We'll hold, no matter what. I will push them back.
So we've put together a pretty decent lane, provided our opponent doesn't have a Dawn's Wrath in the next 2 turns with our javelins and our edict, or a javelin and our edict singular. We should be able to take on any guard or other nefarious being that would choose to encroach upon our lane. So off to a better start. I mean, you know, folks, I don't mind losing. I lose handily and often. I like to lose against players with class. I can't play Balgriff yet. I'm thinking. What do I want to do next turn? Wait a minute. Something has changed with the board. I don't see my cards anywhere. Huh. Very bizarre. Well, guess we'll start another game. So, I don't remember what the heck I was saying. I am emotionally on E right now. E being empty. Just because it was a very productive, but also just very emotionally draining day. I actually started the day off. I'm not going to lie to you folks. Here's the thing. So, you may or may not have noticed, and if you haven't, that's totally fine. You're here for TESL, right? But I do, on occasion, I'll pair a K-drama with a song. That's what music is called. A song. And do like a kind of a music video. And K-dramas are about 16 hours on average. So distilling the essence of a K-drama down into... I don't have the ring. And I'm probably not going to need that against a warrior. It'll be useful, but it's not necessary. And there's our Sky Shard. If we have the board state well enough that we can play Sky Shard on curve, that would be fantastic. But as you can see, Well, unless our opponent must have a worse drought than we do, or just as bad.
Of the living.
But anyway, I do that. So it's like solving a puzzle. That it's part of like an intellectual thing, trying to distill it down to a wow. So we are going to Earthbone that. You're gonna get boned, sir. You're gonna get boned by the Earth. We're gonna take away the damage and the ability to proc that 5/5.
Keep your distance.
And it looks like his mammoth is going to trade with my mammoth. Mine should win because it's a premium, but I don't think the game cares for some reason. So hopefully, unless our opponent does something wacky, next turn is Sky Shard into Rift Thane.
We must remain steadfast.
I am ready to join the circle.
Okay.
Be silent.
I will push them back.
All right, so our opponent's is going to start getting some pretty big stuff here. That's going to turn into a 4/3.
Battle shall be ours.
And there goes our 4/2.
You have met your end.
The good news is we do have our Golden Initiate, which is
Waka watches over me.
still very helpful. Ooh, Reeve would be.
Mine.
Let's do. Yeah.
Training is over. Speak time to act.
No chargy boys for you, sir.
Enjoy the next met your end.
It's going to get interesting here. Okay, we're lucky he was only able to play that one. I mean, I think we got a trade, right? And I don't really much care about Crusader's Assault,
Ita Oreo.
so I'm not going to worry about this guy. I guess we'll play as many of these as we can.
Did you hear that?
Oops, I forgot that actually had an increase in price as well.
This day will be mine.
I probably should have put it over here, but that's all right. So I'm guessing our opponent is going to trade with our 5th Legion. One of these two is.
Enjoy the next life.
There we go. We don't have our drain on the board, and he's got charge. That's probably.
Awaits you.
You have met your end.
And hits keep coming. Ooh, Oreo Cookie Gal.
Motherless dog.
Let's see, he's got 8, 9, 10. Lethal with that. We do have.
I'll take them with me.
And we do have our Golden Initiate,
Speak, citizen.
which, if she survives, could very well be the game determinant factor person gal. All right, we got Edicts, we got Javelin. How many more charges does he have? Does he have another one? He does. And it's not over yet, but okay. Let's see.
I know a shortcut.
All right, if we Javelin. No, you know what? We're going to do this.
Motherless dog.
And we're going to Javelin whichever one gets the buff.
Ita Oreo.
Okay. Still not in a comfy position, but our opponent is probably going to want to trade with that 3/3. There we go.
Waka watches over me.
Okay.
I'm ready for anything. You
I bet you are, sir. Lots of chargers on this.
I'm ready for anything.
Wow.
You're going down.
Just all the chargers in the world. Okay, so here's the question. That's 9. We're 4 short. And I don't like the way this board looks right now. If we play 6, we only have 4 next turn, which isn't gonna. Oh, wait. Power and health equal to his hireling's power. That's 3. That's 8. That's 12. No, wait. 3, 6, 11. But that's 11 damage. That's 11 drain for us. So we're going to do
I
that.
just want a chance to prove myself. I just want a chance to prove myself.
So that was a heck of a. These are a great card. Good job, Brother Ridge. These were a very smart inclusion with Sky Shard. Wow.
There's nowhere they can hide.
Another charger. That's fine. We've got our own charger. 7, 11.
Becomes the hunted.
Let's trade them both. We're gonna trade that one. And it's going to be fitting that we win with a charger, considering that's what like our opponent is predominantly running.
This was a worthy contest.
There's no hunter.
There we go.
The hunted.
All right. Was that our first win? Was that our first game? I don't know. I think it was. Maybe that was our second. Oh yeah, it was our second game, but the first one went by so quick because our opponent just randomly conceded. Well, not randomly. No, I mean with what we had built up, it was really a no-win situation. But anyway, so doing this, so editing, like it's like a puzzle solving. You're just trying to you got 16 hours worth of pieces together, and you're trying to put them together in an order and in a way that tells a story. And a lot of times you're having to adjust your story because you don't have the bandwidth. You don't have in 3 minutes, 4 minutes even, to tell the story that the actual series is about, or at least in all of its facets. So, I mean, that's not bad, I guess. Yeah, we'll go with it.
Luck to your house.
Oh, there we go. Sky Shard again. All right, we're up against Fat Diggs. Guessing there's some.
Walk on warm sands.
The moons give this one strength.
Do we rapid shot her? No, but we are going to put our Rift thing down there. Now, granted, well, no, see, Ambitious Hireling is going to allow us to trade if she doesn't get lethal or ward. No lethal or ward. No lethal or ward. No lethal or ward. Doggone it. I don't know why I thought I was actually going to be able to kill her. And there's lethal anyway, so huzzah. All right. Well, none of this is looking particularly good. We'll go ahead and
I just want a chance.
do that, and we'll punish her for changing lanes. Now you don't get the trade over here. And if you don't trade here, I'm going to Crusader's Assault you, kitty. Had to add Crusader in front, otherwise it sounds bad. If you say Crusader's Assault, it's good. If you say Assault you, Ward, of course. Oh, man.
They make it too easy.
If you say so, kitty. You say so.
Death to the enemy.
Don't underestimate me.
We're not doing Sky Shard because we're racing kitty now. As soon as she gets drained, we're screwed. So we are just going to be moving as quickly as possible through this, trying to race desperately before time runs out.
Do not ignore.
Okay.
She's warning.
Okay. Stay of execution. And we do get, now she gets breakthrough. Never mind. I was going to say we could throw Mark Man's little thingy blooper in front, but all right. So I think our opponent is fixing to race.
Together, we will make a
Wow.
You have been warned.
Yep. And we're about to lose this just because of that one freaking card. Okay. So that's 9. Do we just concede here? He's got 7. We can one Crusader Assault. We can't, but it's not going to do anything. We can throw down 1 guard. Breakthrough. That's 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we're just done. Wait. Do we have lethal here? No. 9, 10. Well.
kill them all.
Yep. All right. Well, that got out of hand pretty quick. That sucks when just 1 card comes out and it just pretty much changes the entire game. But, you know, it is what it is. That deck could not have a very high win rate. Kitties are pilfer decks are usually don't usually have a very high percentage. But I'm glad we were able to get a win. Might be the only one of the night. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you get on a streak with them. But usually, because I mean, they did like the guards are a problem. If we had any one of our removals, it would have been a problem. So I mean, anyway, win some, lose some. I don't know what I was saying. I was blabbing on about editing, but anyway, bottom line is I do it for catharsis, and it's good, and it energizes the brain and everything, but it is also emotionally draining if you're dealing with if the content especially is kind of ooh, that's actually kind of nice right there. That's pretty nice.
Luck to your
And so I
house.
was exhausted. So honestly, after those first two games, or first two false starts where just had crappy games and wasn't feeling great, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna call it. We're gonna spectate. This will be a friends episode. And none of y'all are playing. I got 17 friends online. Had 17 friends. Now we got 15. Had 15 friends online, and nobody's playing. Not a single one. Not a one. No one to bail me out.
I bark and bird. This is interesting.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's interesting.
Wait, did you hear that?
You can't defeat. I know a shortcut. I'll clear a path.
All right. I mean, Drain is not what we won against Control Empire. We are just racing against Guardians and New Era. That's pretty much it. Oh, hey there.
Your throat.
So here's the bummer. I mean, there's a lot of bummers actually. So he's going to be able to take out 5th Legion and heal, which is fine because we didn't give him a card yet. So he's welcome to heal as much as he wants at the moment. But I mean, that's not great for Control. We just said we were trying to. I mean, we'd like to activate our East March. And right now he can't slay the 2/1 by himself. So we might just sow her next turn.
Do you not fear me, mortal? You should.
Fear me.
Chimeric spirit of the sky, guide us.
Go no further.
I swear.
I know that you want to try to race us, buddy, but oof. Well, I feel like Earthbone might. That's not going to take off the damage. It's just going to take away. It's not going to be able to heal next or gain a card next turn.
You will perish in pain.
I mean, we can't Earthbone and we can East March. Let's go with East March.
Hold the
You
line.
will perish.
So we're going to do this. Sky Shard has helped us out in the past. So we'll see what we can do here. We are going to lose our Mammoth. But if he does make that trade, he doesn't get to draw a card. Because I think that activates on turn 7, correct? It does. Okay, so that's his call. Do you want to take an extra 5 from my Mammoth? Or do you want to try to get the extra card? You don't need the cards. 3, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you got 8 cards. You don't need any more.
Feel the power within you.
How about I just shoot you in the face with my Earthbone Spinner, huh?
Go no further.
Ooh, now that's a tempting target too. Oh, you know what? There we go. Well, yes, we can do both.
Just want a chance.
Clear a path.
No, we can't. Just kidding. Just kidding, folks.
Speak, citizen.
Can't do both. I don't know what I was thinking. And I don't know why I was playing in this field, playing Shadow Hand either.
I smell the stench.
All the guards. All the guards. You know what doesn't get old? Lots and lots of guards. So we are going to trade into the 3/4 because
Underestimate.
we don't want the drain going off there.
We'll rebuild Sky
I mean, now we're just being able to play one at a time here. So if our opponent is in fact new, I mean, I don't know that anybody runs Empire and doesn't run Guardians and New Era, except for some of our friends who, you know, despise those cards as much as I do. But a lot of folks in the general populace will run them. I mean, they're not abominations. They're just kind of tired. From my perspective, my own humble perspective. And I'm a bit crabby right now. That's not an excuse.
If I fall,
Again, with like 3,000 guards. Ooh, you must have another guard for the field lane, because there's no way you leave your field lane that exposed. Okay. Works for me.
By Arcade's beard, stay back.
Let them rebuild what Gauntlets gave to the land she once was.
So we got some good stuff there. Something tells me I probably should have saved that for later, but we're doing okay at the moment. There's that Dawn's Wrath that I was afraid of. That's right, we can Triumphant Jarl. Brother Ridge put a bunch of card draw in here, which is fantastic. We cannot do Jarl and Golden Initiate. We can do Jarl and... well, we'll see. Hopefully he gives us something cool to play.
Tawaka watches over me.
All right. Does he have another Dawn's Wrath? If he does not, then we're probably looking okay. We got an Edict for a guard. Just Edict, Edict, Edict. No one wants to beat a Edict. That's a little gem for y'all. Little gem. Let's... times like this, I'm thankful that we do not clip from videos. Come on, man. Do you have no pride whatsoever? I mean, geez Louise. Could use some charger. Well, no, wait a minute. Hang on a second. We got 2, 6. We need to do 2 damage. 2 damage. All the stuff. All the stuff. And not a great conscription. Well, never mind. I didn't see that Profiteer there. Mother. Gosh darn it. And he's got what's her face too. Sower's good.
do not fear me, mortal.
And...
you should.
Speak, citizen.
all right, with Giggles and what's his face on there, we've got our work cut out for us. Saving that edict, I'm not worried about the Divine Fervor at the moment. If an amulet comes out, granted, if it does, he's going to get a crap load of use from it before we even can edict the crap out of it. But crap, and crap. Ah.
I will cut your purse.
Oh.
I'll scout ahead.
Yes.
Prepare yourself. The hist shall heal you.
I mean, I really don't want to edict that, but it is a kind of big deal.
I swear.
Actually, no. Does that give us...
There's a plan. There's a whole...
No, come on. Are you serious? I get, what, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9.
vile canker blossom.
Ita Oriel.
I smell the stench of the living.
So sweet, I could just eat you up.
I mean, he's got a handful of cards. There's no way he doesn't have more answers to what we've got here, but... oh, my gosh. Ooh, did not plan that out very well. I don't blame him, though. I wouldn't have thought of that either. Yeah. Oh, boy. Definitely dragon. Dragon. But there's no dragon. We don't. This is not a dragon deck. But we are dragging.
Speak, citizen.
all the drinking. You know what? I'm just so tired. Just so tired. Oh. This episode is sponsored in small part by the Legendary Remnant Discord. If Discord servers were people, the Legendary Remnant Discord would be the coolest person you could know. So don't you want to hang out with cool people? Check it out. Oh my gosh, I'm going down in flames. This episode primarily sponsored by Bend, Will, and Action from Beaterus. I think we have 14 shouts left, so we're making our way through them slowly but surely. This one, Bend Will, for willpower, fittingly. Cause an enemy creature that isn't undead or dragon to attack your opponent. So we have something similar to this with, what's that? I believe it's a 4-drop. Is it? That's not Mechazor. It's, I'm just making up words now. Mechalozor. There we go. Mechalozor. I think he's a 4 cost that can do that, but it has to have less power than he does. If I remember, it's been a long time since I've seen that card played. So there is precedent for this type of deal, but making it a shout is definitely interesting. Is cool. Card art not necessarily profuse with TESL vibes. Looks a little more generic, but it's still cool, nifty art anyway. Of course, we'd spice it up a little bit, make him a something or other person, guy, man, maybe with enchanted plates or something. Who knows? But anyway. I think so. Unlike our last one, which we know is a 2-drop, and I argued that it was probably too cheap. This one is probably, well, so here's the thing. As a 5 cost, it's not bad. So it's right up there. Your javelins, your casting at time. So it's kind of like a, it's a form of removal, but it's not permanent. So considering you have javelins that are permanent, but javelins can't hurt your face. So, and it's saying attack your opponent. So I'm guessing it means you can't attack other creatures with the creature that you're hijacking, which would make sense. So you get to do 5. Well, and there's no limit to it. So aside from the fact that it can't be dragons or undead, which is interesting. I don't know if that's a lore thing. I have a feeling that is a lore fueled caveat, because it seems a little bit random to me that dragons and undead would be immune from this, based purely on mechanics. Like I don't know, like they're not more broken than some other cards. I mean, Elid Guardian isn't either one of those. You could jack one of those, and that's for 5. That's a pretty big swing. The thing though is it doesn't say that you get to keep that card. You don't get it. It just, you attack with it once, so your opponent gets it right back. So I think it's interesting. If I were Bethesda, I was a dev, I would run this as it is, as the cost is, and see what happens. I think there may be some stuff that I'm not factoring in, but I've always been scratched my head when it comes to cards that cost 4 or 5, edicts and javelins and stuff. Cards that may at different points be a little too more expensive, but a lot of times you're nuking cards that cost twice what these cost. And it doesn't care about wards or anything like that. So I've always found what I consider to be relatively low cost action items or low cost actions that do hard removal to be an interesting thing. It's hard to not feel like they're overpowered, I guess. But I mean, they've been around since the game began, and probably other versions of the game. So it's just my own personal thing. And I've gotten used to it, but I remember thinking, how is that fair? Like, my creature costs 10 and that only cost you 5. Why is that okay? But that's just the way it goes. But anyway, so I would say that for right now, I'd say 5 costs is fine, even though I know there are some bigger creatures, Dagoth, I mean, you could yank him. But yeah, I'm guessing, unless one of y'all can correct me, or Beaterus if you want to let me know, if there is a functional reason why undead and dragons in particular can't be targeted based on the game mechanics. I'm thinking it's undead doesn't have a will, or doesn't have a spirit, or whatever, doesn't have something to be bent, and dragons aren't going to be able to have their will bent by a shout. So I'm thinking that's what the deal is here. Also, it does change up as we go to the different levels. So level 2 is not just, I don't even know what it would have been in general, but it's steal an enemy creature. So not just steal an enemy creature that isn't undead or a dragon, it gains charge. So kind of like well, the guy, the Mechalazar, whatever the crap his name is, when he steals it, it turns it back around and he can use it he can actually use it against you. He can hit the opponent or hit an enemy creature. So that's more like that, but it's unconditional. Whereas that one I think had a power limit. This Bend Will would be unconditional. Any creature that is not a dragon or undead, you can yoink it and give it charge, and so immediately make use of it. And it says steal it. So even after you charge with it, which I think in the other card that we're talking about, whatever the guy's name is, your opponent gets him back if he survives. A lot of times people use it to trade to get rid of something, and then nobody gets the card because it's dead. But here, you would get the card back if it is still alive after it charges. So pretty powerful there. Perhaps aptly suited to a level 2. But level 2 is supposed to break even, maybe not give it charge. Maybe. I'm just thinking. Because it's supposed to be a value. I mean, this is a Marak. When you think about it, this is a Marak at level 5. I mean, level 2, but it costs 5 for what Marak does. I think giving it charge at level 2 is a little too awesome for it. Let's see what the third one is. Steal an enemy creature, okay, that isn't undead. So dragons are on the table. It gains charge. If dragon activate, its summon ability. So interesting. I guess maybe is it canon? Is it in Skyrim lore that a level 3 shout? Do they level them that way? Do they call them different levels? That a level 3 can in fact twist a dragon's brain? Because it seems odd that there would just be a random exception at level 3. But I think we could keep. I think this one could be level 3, 5 cost, steal creature, give it charge. Still not being able to take dragons or undead. And here you're activating its summon ability. So I don't know, folks. What do you think? Make it cost one or two more? I mean, maybe one. Usually, if it's right on the cusp, you don't want to go up to 2. But I feel like that second one is real. The second and third one are really powerful for their cost. I mean, and granted, you have to have played one or a word wall or a call dragon. So if it was, there are a lot of ways to jump up and have the first shout that you play actually be a level 2. And that again is a Marak at 5 cost. I mean, if you add the word wall or whatever it is that allows you to get the gate to level it up there. You know what I'm saying though? I think it's just too powerful. Just too powerful as it is now. I think stealing it at 5 still could be too strong, but I think that's trending in the right direction. And then this steals it and gives it charge. But that again, that's better than Marak, and Marak's 11 cost. You have to. That's a pretty big gap and a pretty big value shift, I think. But anyway, it's a good thought. I for some reason in my head I just see it costing 7. I don't know why, but when I close my eyes and I think really hard, I see a 7 there. And to me, I'm guessing that's what my brain is saying would make it worth, or make it, expensive enough that it's not just completely going crazy. But y'all can let me know what you think, how you would nerf it, if you would nerf it, or if you think it's just fine as is. In any case, beaters, thank you so much again for this card, making me jog my brain a little bit. And let's go ahead and get back to those games that are just so gosh darn amazing. My fartitude is about this thick. Or sorry, it was this thick when I started. It's completely gone now. I am not in a TESL playing mood at the moment. But I kind of felt a little bit, honestly, it's like, if I put out like a for my own purposes, my own catharsis, a music video that only I care about and only I watch. Because honestly, that's the thing. I actually do it because it's the stuff I want to see, but nobody else does it, so I do it. But I feel bad putting one of those out and then not putting out a video that actually people do want to watch and would care about, especially when it is scheduled. I haven't said, hey, I'm not going to do this. That said, I am thinking...
Wait, did you hear that?
I am thinking about either departing, because I think we might, with Brave and I both doing, making sure we do a video a week. I mean, am I really going to Crusaders Assault here? Screw it.
with me.
You know, I mean, that's like a video a day, and a lot of people, unless all you're watching is,
So little time.
you know, is TESL videos. You know, there's only so much time that you have during the week. And so I wonder if we hit a saturation point. That's going to be rapid shotted.
The ape protect us.
Khajiit is having a good night.
Wow. All right.
I'll whip them into shape.
Oh, I totally should have played makeshift defenses. Just in case my 5th Legion
Training
gets
is over.
nuked.
It's time to act.
You're so sweet. I could just eat you up.
There we go.
Leave
Khajiit
now.
is having a good night.
Oh, what do I want to do with this? We're going to keep racing. Because I don't care.
Hardly a challenge.
Motherless dog.
Do you not fear me, mortal? You should.
I mean, I do care. I mean, I am trying to play, but at the same time, it's I'm going to punch you in the face. I'm going to punch you in the face, so. Cool.
How can
Oh my gosh. Oh, why are my opponents always playing the most annoying things in the world ever?
See you dead.
Hold the line.
Your order.
I don't know. Don't know.
Khajiit is having a good night.
Motherless dog.
By Arcade's beat, stay back.
We can't play both of those. We're going to do this.
Did you hear that?
And we'll go ahead and do that as well. And we'll do that just to throw down some speed bumps for our opponent. I mean, every point matters in this.
Chimeric spirit
Of
the
course.
sky, guide us.
Of course.
I hear and
So can we win next turn? I don't think so. That's 6, 7. No. Even with Redoran getting a buff, we're not going to pull this off.
leave nothing.
Khajiit is having a
So,
good night.
yeah.
Acknowledge.
I mean, Edict
You can
would have been good earlier, but oh yeah, we're not even going to survive. It's just game over. Oh, I mean, I wish I could summon the exact card that I need, like my opponents have been able to do today. It's like, oh hey, I need the 3/5 that just allows all my pilfer to go twice. I need a Divine Fervor for my big buffy board that I just put together. I just can't summon these things like some folks can. I don't know how they practice that. I have much to learn about this game. Much to learn. But, yeah. So I do apologize for the low energy. I did want to give you something. And this is just the best that I'm able to grind out right now. I would have been much, much happier doing spectating tonight. But again, no one's playing. What is this, Tuesday? Tuesday night. So mental note, do not do anything with TESL on Tuesday night. Nobody is here. It's crickets. It's abandoned. I feel nauseous just because it's a monk and we just got screwed by monk like 3 games ago or 4 games ago. It's been a long night so far. But come now, you didn't show up here to hear me whine and whimper about whatnots and what have yous. So
Luck to your house.
yeah, that's all I got to. Because that's all I got is a bunch of whimpering and whining today. But yeah, I was thinking about maybe paring it down to like do Monday and Friday, so I kind of bookend the week for you, but leave Wednesdays open. That way, like when Shinzo comes back, or somebody else wants to jump in on Wednesday, or just leaves Wednesdays open, just because Live at 5 is really the main attraction for this channel, I would say. And I'm starting to like trying to look into other things that I could be doing or need to be doing right now. My attention's getting pulled in a few different directions. It won't last I mean, I will eventually run out of side projects, but at the moment,
I'll whip them into shape.
I've got a few projects going. I haven't touched any writing stuff. I have two writing projects that I've been just kind of sitting on. I started, the Righteous Incarnation. Like I started with
This
it.
one will lead you to glory.
I bet you will, you goofy-hatted cat. Why don't you use the kitty litter box cat thing? Yeah, sorry. Scathing words from... I'm sorry, is this a drop the mic play here, Lainey? Like, are we waiting for applause? I just had to find the pass button, maybe.
You fight like a child.
So Cloud Rest could be important next turn if our opponent puts something down
You're
that...
looking for trouble.
That's not really what we were concerned about.
Clothes will carve you apart.
But...
A little distraction might prove useful.
You can't defeat me.
Now, unfortunately, she dies to him. But... that's okay. That's kind of keeping him occupied. Occupado, as it were. Turn 5, I'm guessing Barrowstalker, Ambitious Hireling. And now, when I see Ambitious Hireling, I just think of how close we got to finishing that one game off, but then just, oh man. Life, am I right, folks? Well, we're going to assume that Lainey, and actually that would explain the pause earlier. So this could be an actual legitimate disconnect. I think maybe Lainey was having some issues or whatever earlier. That's why it took a while to pass that turn. Had not failed to locate the button. Probably was having some internet issues, but wasn't showing up as disconnected for whatever reason. I'm totally spitballing, but we had this discussion. I think was it Beowulf? We were talking about what's the point in believing the best, or no, choosing to believe something. That's what it was. And I was like, well, this is a perfect case in point. I choose to believe that Lainey is experiencing genuine technical difficulties, and so I have no animus or there's no bitterness or grinding or against Lainey. I just go, unfortunately, bereft of internet or consistent internet. I can relate. I had that one day I told you, the last live at 5, it took me 20 minutes. So we're just going to go face just to... Okay, never mind. Yeah, I think our opponent is genuinely gone at this particular point. And I'm so convinced of it that I'm not even gonna try to trade with this thing. Oh, I was gonna say another prophecy. What is that all about? Okay, so we'll just do this and that.
I smell the
I mean, again, I'm
of the living.
very certain our opponent is MIA, but doesn't hurt to be sure. Yeah, there we go. So I choose to believe something. It could go either way, but why choose to believe the worst about somebody when it doesn't help you at all? And by golly, you'd think, I mean, what happened on Live at 5 where I actually, I was calling somebody out for being a turd muffin, and they actually weren't being a turd muffin. I misread what was going on, and there was a little bit of, not roping, but a little, we might call it a little bit of BMing from one of our friends. Wow, look at that. So we started off up here, right there. That's where we were at the start of today. And then between the 2 games that we skipped and all these other stuff, we've just done nothing but fall. Even though we won like 3 games with this, that's how much we've lost today. Like, I'm starting to long for the days of a Dwemer or a neutral Singleton. I mean, this is no shade at the deck. I think the deck is fine. I'm probably playing it exponentially lazier than you're supposed to. You're supposed to probably mid-range it a little bit, do a little more trading, and we're just kind of like, screw it, we're going to face it. It just so happens we're up against opponents that are doing the exact same thing. Well, we're either up against you know what? We're not doing this again.
I bow to your victory.
I apologize if that wasn't the person. Let's take a quick look. I'm pretty sure it was the same mage that we just lost to. Where is it? Where is our match history? Yep, there it is. Look at those L's. Look at that. My goodness gracious. See, Miss Music Man was our last one. So okay, there's our Dwemer. So here we go. That's what we started off with. 2 losses, 2 wins, 5 losses, 2 wins, 6 losses, 3 wins. Yep, that sounds about right. When you lose, this is what it feels like. Yep, I can verify. It's happened to me enough times. When you lose twice as many games as you win, you feel like a big giant blob of, I was going to say pus. Sure, we'll go with pus. Big giant blob of pus. That's just what it feels like. Anytime. And we're not doing this either. We are not doing this one either. Unfortunately, it seems like we're just going to get rehashes. Can we just concede, please?
I bow to
Yeah.
your victory.
Yeah. I mean, we're just going to pile the losses on at this point. I think it's a personality thing. There's something about me, like if I've got, like if I'm at the very depths of whatever it is, I've bottomed out in whatever arena of my life I bottomed out in, or anytime I've gotten to the dregs, I'm gonna call it perverse because it can't be a good thing, but a perverse, like it's almost like scratching a bug bite, where I'm just like, let's just go down as far as we can. Screw it. If we're just gonna drop to the bottom, let's just go in. I'm gonna, if I get like a smidgen that I'm not gonna be interested in this game, I'll just concede. Like, don't care. I'm just like, screw it. We're going to end up at the bottom of the stake today. It doesn't matter what I do. So I'm just gonna let it happen. And so there's a part of me that just kind of rolls with that. And on something like this, it's not a good look necessarily, but it doesn't really harm anything. The problem is when you get that attitude and, hey, Bruma could have used you a while ago, like our opponent did. Got 2 of you freakers.
Hello there.
Hello, Michelle 92. Hopefully you are not running invade. I don't know why I would assume battle mages.
I bow.
Screw you, Michelle 92. Screw you for showing up with your gosh darn invade deck. Okay, this is just going to be a piss and moan stream. That's what I'm going to call it. Piss and moan. So I'm going to title it that way so you know what you're getting into. We are going until we hit the bottom of the snake, and that's probably going to be this next game. And then we're going to call it quits. We're just going to be done. So I blame all of you. Blame all of you for not being here for me to spectate, because I would have been much better off spectating. You made me play against my will. Forced me to. Yeah. Well, like I said, not a good look. But then there are other times in my life where I have that same kind of mentality. I'm just like I said, it's like as gratifying as scratching a bug bite, like or a scab or something. It's not good to scratch it. You're probably going to possibly spread, like or poison ivy. Poison ivy is a big one. You're very likely going to be spreading that oil to other parts of your body, doing yourself greater harm, or it's going to you get something infected. Like there's no good rational reason, no positive outcome that's going to result from scratching stuff. But it feels good to do it anyway. Sometimes part of the joy of doing it, or not the joy, I can't call it joy. Joy is that's far too lofty of an emotion for what we're talking about here. My pleasure, I don't know what you call it. Whatever it is. Not mirth, that's just another word for joy. I don't know. But my whatever it is that I get from it, well, we can call it joy, is partly because I know it's screwing myself over, because I'm in that mentality. Now, I don't do this when it comes to like actual like physical harm stuff, like serious harm stuff, like poison ivy. Yes, because I can get irritated when I'm irritated, like when my skin is irritated. If I'm in pain, if I'm in discomfort, I get angry, or a form of anger. It's not like a rage anger, but it's just kind of like the low key. It's like being hangry, but it's, well, I was gonna say hurt, but hurt already begins with an H. So it's if you're in pain. And like, yeah, if you're in pain, especially if it's like low key pain or whatever, it's an irritation that develops into rage. Depending. I mean, if it's really bad pain, it can be very enraging. And if it comes from another person, that makes it worse. Like if there's a face that belongs to the reason why I'm in pain, that's not a great thing. Doesn't mean I'm going to do anything. Even if somebody did something on purpose, I would have to be in the act of defending myself to actually lash out. I'm not going to, if somebody did something to me and then walked off or something, I'm not going to chase them down. Depending on what it is, I might call the cops. I mean, if they just like bludgeoned me with a baseball bat or something. But anyway, so I never want to make it sound like, oh, well, you don't want to see me when I'm angry. It's not something to be proud of. But that being said, it does make it makes the anger harder to manage when it's not like, oh, it's a table, it's an inanimate table. Like if it's a person, like it's, even if it's an accident, like me and my friend used to just like do wrestling around, just whatever. And sometimes he would just get a little rambunctious for the space we were in. And, he'd do something a little not great. And it would end up with me like smacking my head against a dresser or something like that. And it hurt. And it was technically his fault. I mean, he didn't do it on purpose. He wasn't trying to injure me, but he also was being a little fast and loose with
Kill them all.
stuff.
By Arcade Spear, this day will
So,
be mine.
I mean, but what was I going to do? I'm not going to like hit my friend because he did something by accident. Poop stone. Oh, good. I guarantee you that's not going to come back to bite us in the butt.
Vile canker blossom. I will put them back.
I mean, our only chance now is just to rush him down before he can actually Hand of Dagoth. Anybody? You think with that number of cards? No? Doesn't have it? Because he's not ringing it out. We got the Earthbone just in case. That's all right. We are not terribly worried about that.
Death to the enemy. Found you.
I'll clear a
Kill
path.
them all.
This doesn't really fit in with our whole strategy of
I smell the stench
ending up at the
of
bottom of the
living.
snake. But it ain't over yet, folks. It ain't over yet. I can still snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
Behold the full son of
Well, there we go. Well, if we didn't have the Earthbone, that would be a problem. But we do. But our opponent's going to play something. At some point.
Guards, to me!
Okay. Cool. Oh, I was going to say if it gave... Well, it wouldn't matter if it gave her guards, but...
enjoy the
Wrong
next
place
life,
for a
fool.
midnight stroll.
Yeah, we'll just edict that. I shouldn't have edict. I meant to Earthbone because he's going to see a top deck and think that's what I won with, but I don't think he's going to care too much. I wouldn't care. Well, all right. You know what though? No. You know what? That's going to be good. Let's end on a high note. I think that's the only way we're going to end on a high note is to take the random lucky win that we just were able to. Our opponent just had a bad draw. So that's what we're going to deal with today. So, folks, I do apologize sincerely for my lack of enthusiasm and perky spirit. I mean, even if we'd won all of our games, I would have been a little less down in the mouth, but I still would have been, because I'm still processing emotional stuff. Not from what I did today. There's other stuff going on in my life that I'm not going to bore you with, but suffice to say, it's got some weight to it. So what I did today to process it was good, but it was also very tiring. So I will not be doing that on Friday. I will make sure that I am emotionally pristine and available and excited and all those good things for Friday live at 5. So hopefully to see you then. Anybody who's watching this randomly on a day, I mean, just know live at 5 is probably still a thing on Fridays at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, US. But that's all I got today, folks. So to the best of your abilities, whenever you can, however you can, and if you have the emotional fortitude, keep playing.